I started reading about Joe, and he was one of those people who just sort of pops up in footnotes in a lot of different places. And I realized here's this person who was so well-known and so influential, almost a household name in his day, and now he's completely obscure. And the play kind of came out of wondering, well, how does that happen?
His column in the 50s was in, I think, it reached the height of 190 newspapers, and yet he wrote like Henry James. It's amazing. I mean, that's the other thing. It's about journalism and the difference between then and now. There is absolutely nobody with Joe Alsop's power nowadays.
There were massive contradictions in the guy. I mean, he was this, foreign policy uberhawk who was also very center-left on social issues. He was a gay man who was married. He was an incredibly, kind of vicious backstage infighter who could also be incredibly generous and kind to people in his life.
The play is essentially a character study and a study of relationships. There are 6 characters, therefore there are 5 extraordinarily intense relationships.
I play Andrei. He's a young Russian man who Joe Alsop meets in the first scene. It's really interesting because you got Joe Alsop, who's this really big anti-communist journalist, in a hotel room with a communist.
I play Stewart Alsop, his brother, who was his writing partner for 12 years. As Vietnam progressed, they disagreed. Joe was very much a hawk, and Stewart became less so, and then finally sided with the anti-war side.
Intervention to him was our essential responsibility in the world. So he embraced Vietnam wholeheartedly as he was aging and as he was gradually becoming irrelevant, which was the great crisis in his life. A character in the play is the very young David Halberstam, and that's one of the gigantic conflicts between old Alsop and young Halberstam.
They tee off on each other and really kind of represent this divide in both time and in the culture at this really tumultuous period in American history.
Most of the drama of the play, though, centers around Joe's closeted homosexuality. And so Stewart was aware of it, but there was tension about it.
Because his homosexuality was closeted at the time, as was a lot of homosexuality at the time. In fact, illegal in many cities in America. I don't think she knows a lot about it. I don't think she really understands a lot about homosexuality. Period. And also, she knows his secret, but she has a very big need for emotional intimacy. So, which he really isn't able to give her. So it's a big struggle. I've really never played a woman like her before.
My great Broadway times have been my great career times. M. Butterfly, The Changing. I think this is going to be one of those.